let's talk about the second objective for doing this, which is to, in essence, empower local production,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Do you admit then, if that is your objective, that
yes.
this particular piece of legislation places the cart before the horse?
Well, I don't know. You keep saying that. Well, let me understand. Why do you say that?
Because
yes.
if you restrict,
yes.
and you don't have enough local production,
well, you see,
then you're going to create a big challenge.
Maybe you're not focusing on this. I've said it so many times. We are not banning.
No, restricting.
We're restricting,
yes.
but we're restricting to the extent that we don't create famine in the country.
How do you propose to do that?
Well, exactly. So you see the committee that has been put together: Agriculture Ministry, Ministry. How many of them? You got a copy of this?
Ministry. You have the Ministry of Agriculture. You have the Finance Ministry. You have the GRA. You have
the food and whatever what called FDA.
Yes,
they are all there. Go to the page. They are all
including the associations like
so
AGI.
All of them. And so there is this committee that meets and monitors food production in the country. So it's not a simple question of just sitting down one afternoon and determine that you can get a certificate or permit or not. No. The ministry is responsible, particularly Agric. There has been quite a lot of liaison between our ministry and Agric ministry before we came out with this. We thought through. If in the end, the committee through the Agric ministry tells us that there's a deficit, the deficit between production and consumption in the country is this much, so this much has to be imported, it will be allowed through. It's as simple as that.
So what you're saying is you would allow imports,
yes,
so far as it doesn't create shortage locally?
Absolutely. And of course, so far as also doesn't flood the system. So to the extent that there won't be starvation in the country, we would ensure that the right quantity is allowed into the country. What we would not do, and repeatedly I'm making this point, is to simply get up and arbitrarily suggest that, well, we restricted the import of this, we have restricted. You might well say that the word restriction is a misnomer, and you might be right in saying that, because it doesn't seem to me that right from the word go, we're going to restrict to the extent that you may be tempted to equate restriction to banning, but that won't be entirely accurate. We will be restricting, not in the context of banning, but restricting in the context of keeping an eye on it and making sure that at the same time the production at home is beginning to match our consumption. At a point when there is equilibrium somewhere, then the system will be looking at whether there's a need to continue with the importation.